And 5.
Practice starts at 100, so let's get it. Think back, most days for practice. My game face doesn't take days off, which is it's a ring bar, release some ground hairs, so you can get virtually every hair and a single stroke. Fast, smooth. The best your game can get is Gillette Line.
There's a shadow between those stars. Somehow you won't provide. Someday, somehow, someway.
As you hope, rules are house full of firsts. From first places,
Well, sometimes big upsets happen in the college ranks, not just in the National Hockey League. Where exactly are we referring our attention to? Well, we are talking about yesterday's Cornell University and Michigan State University game. Because it's the playoffs right now, they've got the tournaments going on, and the games are super important. Now, if you lose, you're pretty much done. Seasons are ending, and players are getting freed up. But when it comes to this particular game, in the Ivy League, we saw ourselves a very interesting set of numbers heading into the third period. Because Michigan State University, they were up 3-2 at the end of the second. But the third period came, and Cornell University ended up scoring two. They won the game with 10 seconds to go in regulation. Look at that final goal. 10 seconds left. Sullivan Mack gets the winner on the power play, and that's all she wrote for the Michigan State University Hockey Club. Now, where does this fall in the realm of the Detroit Red Wings? Because the goaltender for Michigan State University was none other than Trey Augustine, who did suit up in this game and who did let in the goal in the last 10 seconds. He finished this game off with an .810 save percentage. It is the worst save percentage game that Trey Augustine has had since .810 save percentage. Has he had a game worse than that this year? No, he hasn't. I'm looking at the entire game log for Trey Augustine in 2024-2025. The guy legitimately has not had a single game under an .810 save percentage. What he had an .810 save percentage in this game against Cornell. They ended up losing, they ended up getting eliminated, and now we are turning to Detroit to potentially make a move and bring Augustine onto their squad. This is an article I'm going to leave a link in the description to by Kevin Allen from Detroit Hockey Now this morning. Tournament upset clears the way for the Red Wings to sign Trey Augustine. The South Florida native must decide whether or not he wants to leave Michigan State University. Just to really put a bow as to how crazy the loss is, though, number 1 ranked Michigan State's unexpected loss to number 16 Cornell in the NCAA hockey tournament has started a countdown to the Wings signing goalie Trey Augustine. After trailing for most of the game, Cornell pulled off a 4-3 upset against MSU. Sullivan Mack scored against Augustine with 10 seconds left in regulation, and Augustine posted up 17 saves for the game. Sources say the Wings would like to sign Augustine and perhaps get him some minor league games before the end of the season. Augustine doesn't have anything left to prove as a Detroit prospect. Last month, TSN's Frank Button selected him as the 20th affiliated prospect in his annual rankings. Augustine, 20, is only a sophomore, and it's up to him whether he wants to turn pro now or later. No one could have anticipated that the Spartans would have been eliminated this early. MSU had been ranked the #1 team in the country. So, yeah, that's great. Take a look at that, eh? The guys played for the best ranked team in the world. Or in the country, I guess. Yeah, I see the Boys only in America. But you know what I mean. And they lose to the 16th seeded Cornell in a beautiful comeback last-second victory. That's unfortunate for Trey Augustine. But ultimately, there is a chance now for the Lynx to sign him. It's all just going to depend on whether or not he himself wants to do so. And look, these kinds of things happen quickly. We saw Jimmy Snuggerud get signed by the St. Louis Blues earlier this afternoon, and I get it, different teams, different situations, but really, it's up to the guy. If he wants to go pro right away, there is a chance to do so, and I think this plays very well into the Detroit Red Wings prospect pool and what they've got cooking down there in Grand Rapids, because obviously if Trey Augustine signs with Detroit today or tomorrow, he's not signing and playing with Detroit. He's not going to get an NHL game towards the end of the season. That's probably too much considering Talbot, Lyon, Mrazek, and even Gosa up ahead of him on the depth chart. He's probably going to get some reps in there. He knows how good he's going to be. But then you think about the other additions. You've got two Swedes, one is Norwegian, one is a Swede, both playing on a Swedish team. Two Europeans in the SHL Skellefteå AIK system who will be eligible to join the farm team as well upon their seasons concluding. Axel Sandin Pellikka and Michael Brandstedt Newgard, their agents have spoken out and said for both of them that they will be heading over to North America after the end of their Swedish team season. So if the Augustine, Brandstedt Newgard, and Sandin Pellikka combo heads over to Grand Rapids around the same time before the playoffs, that sounds like a really good idea for building the core of this Red Wings prospect system and just giving these guys the best opportunities that they can have at this point of their careers. I mean, I saw a lot of people talking about the excitement for all three of these dudes to join the Red Wings farm team around the same time in the most important games, too. They've already been a pretty strong team this year, but just having more of that youthful exuberance certainly isn't a bad thing, in my opinion. So for a lot of Wings fans who have been paying attention, hey, please keep your eyes peeled. We may be on the cusp of seeing Trey Augustine signed and potentially do some damage as well with the Grand Rapids Griffins. Although it is, of course, unfortunate that his team got eliminated in the very first game of the tournament versus Cornell. That is so unfortunate. Imagine losing to Cornell. Okay, we're not going to talk about Cornell like that. We did just make a video yesterday, by the way, about one of the top Cornell prospects that has been highly coveted by the Bruins, the Lightning, the Jets, the Oilers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That was, what's his name, Dalton Bancroft? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So he was on that Cornell team that defeated Trey Augustine and MSU. So, hey, there's a little bit of an extra tidbit that you can take a look at there. Cornell has actually been quite the role recently. They've won, what is that, 7 games in a row? None of these opponents are like particularly fantastic other than Michigan State, but they beat Clarkson, they beat Quinnipiac, they beat Colby, Yale, and then RPI as well. So it's kind of a mixed bag of NCAA teams going out there and playing and stuff. So we'll see whether or not the Trey Augustine party comes over to Grand Rapids. But for now, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What are your opinions on the loss in general? I didn't really talk much about the goals that were scored against him because I do think just the fact that he allowed 4 goals and had the worst save percentage game. When it came time to take things to the next level, I knew that I had to make a website. And can you blame him? Really? Can you blame this guy for being pissed off like he is? Now, I know the Montreal Canadiens have a game later today against Carolina, and I'm not going to lie, based off of what happened yesterday against Philadelphia, and then the fact that the Hurricanes are a much better team today, I'm not thinking too many good things about today's game from the Montreal perspective. Besides, I'm going to be watching Vancouver Columbus build on at the same time. But this moment, oh boy, this is hot in Montreal Canadiens lore right now, because I wanted to head over to Russia. I wanted to head over to Dynamo Moscow versus SKA St. Petersburg. Because yesterday, Dynamo Moscow took a 1-0 lead in their series against SKA in the KHL Conference quarterfinals. That was yesterday. It was a great game. And the reason I say it's a great game is because SKA St. Petersburg lost. And I think for a lot of Canadian fans, that's something cool. We're not going to have this sort of will towards SKA and head coach Roman Rothenberg for the way he's decided to deploy Ivan Demidov. It was already announced that he's going to be used as the 13th forward for this team in the playoffs. And that was exemplified with the game sheet of the contest, because Ivan Demidov had 7 minutes and 43 seconds worth of time for the SKA St. Petersburg team. It was the second fewest minutes for all forwards. Only Pavel Akolzin had fewer minutes. He had 2 minutes and 51 seconds time on ice, which is a lot less than what Demidov had. But Demidov was still not used, and for a guy who led the team in points, it does feel so ridiculous why Roman Rothenberg would not use him. But we know why he's not going to use him. We know that Roman Rothenberg is acting as a spokesperson for SKA St. Petersburg and SKA St. Petersburg, the hockey team. They're upset that Ivan Demidov has already made his intentions known and that they know that he's going to leave. They know he's going to leave. They know he's not going to commit to being an SKA lifelong player. They know he's not going to extend more time in the organization. He's not going to get any longer-term years like Matthew Mishkov did. Let me remind you, Mishkov is in Philadelphia now, but before Mishkov was even drafted, he already signed a long-term deal to stay with SKA until the mid-2020s. That was something that they liked. But Demidov's not doing that. So they know he's going to leave, they know he's going to lead over to Montreal by the time his KHL contract expires, and they would rather say, screw it, we're not going to use you because you're not going to stay with us, instead of saying, okay, screw it, we're going to use you because we're in the playoffs and we want to. It was posted by yeah, just bear with me, it was posted by This interview of Ivan Demidov before his first game in the KHL playoffs is simply a masterpiece. And this video was posted at 5 a.m. this morning. It's at 120,000 views, 600 likes, and it's hilarious. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can watch the interview yourself. You might be thinking, oh, what is it that Ivan Demidov says that's so hilarious? Well, the fact is, if you watch it, it's a 1-minute interview clip. It's, of course, in Russian. The interviewer is in Russian, and the Demidov response is in Russian. It's a minute long, but Ivan Demidov doesn't want to say anything. That's all too substantial. It's the how that's important here. How he says it, because Ivan Demidov, he gets asked a bunch of questions by this reporter. I'll just read out one of the transcriptions here. Ivan, this is the first KHL playoffs for you. Many experts say it's like a different tournament. Have you felt it yet? And then Demidov replies,